What's up, everybody? Welcome to another new episode of the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast. I'm here with the boys, Jimbo, Coach Mike, and Todd.
Yo, yo.
Everybody.
I haven't had my coffee yet.
Sounding nice and crisp. Nice and crisp.
A beautiful Monday morning.
Gotta love those Mondays.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
They're great.
Good times.
Oh, yeah. Everyone have
So how was it?
a good week of racing? No?
Awesome week.
Good
GP
week?
ring.
Right. It was good. And the Porsche's back. The Porsche
My
is
favorite
back.
track.
It's actually nice to have
Yeah, I am so pissed that they did that.
Yeah, I agree with Jim too. They do it after we picked Hondas.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. The Honda is a more stable platform right now.
It is very stable,
It's-
but it understeers too much.
It does have quite a bit of understeer, and you know, a car that's a little bit loose is a faster car, and the Porsche is just a little bit loose, and it makes it faster. I mean, I drove the Porsche this week, did a couple races in my secret account, and man, that Porsche is really fast now.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I got fucked in manufacturers. I should have gone Porsche, even with it handling poorly at the moment. No, they didn't update and fixed it, of course, or made it better.
Oh, yeah.
So-
A lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, boy, yeah,
From non-existent to dominating.
Right?
yeah. I think whatever they did, boy, it's a fast car again. I'm not going to talk bad about the Acura though. The Acura is super stable all the time.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Going through the
I do
twisty
too.
bits, you have confidence.
Yeah,
So-
I
I'm a
like
fan of the
certain corners throw me off, and it's still because of the right-hand drive. But it is it's very good to drive. It's just not quick enough. You can't. Well, at least I can't push it quite quick enough because of the understeer.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to kind of be a little easier in a way, compared to say the Porsche, where you can just throw it through the corners.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. I drive it uncomfortably because I'm having to shift down and shift more than I like to shift. My style is not shifting all the time and taking my gears all the way down. You know, I'm not that driver. In this car, I have to be that driver, so I just don't feel as comfortable in it. So it is what it is. You know.
What about Todd? You went with the Corvette for this manufacturer, didn't you?
I did.
How was that?
America.
Yeah. Tell us on that screen right now.
It's a handful. It's it's not like the American at all.
Explain yesterday because you said exactly what it was. It was.
She's a big girl, and she can be a little sloppy.
It was.
Big old sassy one.
I believe it was. She understeers in and oversteers out.
Yes, that is true.
How is tire wear?
Not too bad, but it's not as good as other cars, obviously. Like the front right was obviously gone on all cars, but just a little bit faster. So tire wear's not as good. It has good acceleration and top end, and that's really about it.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about this actually yesterday after we got done racing. I think what we need to do is take Todd into some races with all the cars and do testing with him, because Todd really is a tire whisperer. Todd can make tires last forever. So I would like to get him and do some testing, which I know is never fun, but have him drive cars and see how well you can take those tire eaters and make them You drive them fast and make them drivable. But Todd is very smooth. That's one of those things. He's, and I've had to become smooth because of the new physics update. Doesn't make me happy, but in the end, like I said last week, it's going to make me a better driver.
Yeah.
Todd has always been smooth. I always noticed that watching his streams and that, like even before the physics changes, which helped him adapt faster as well. But it's just like you watch Todd drive, and it doesn't matter what he's doing. He's doing it fast and smooth, but it's like he's out on a Sunday drive just cruising around.
Well, especially once he got in VR.
There's no panic in his.
When he got in VR,
there's no
man.
panic in his hands and stuff like that. He's just cruising around, like, hey, watch it, buddy. Kind of thing, like just driving like he's out in the highway on the Sunday drive kind of thing. Just
smoking a doob and
like laid back, one hand on the wheel, kind of crank tunes.
He's taking it literal, the real driving simulator.
Yeah. He's just out on a drive, at 200 miles an hour, but it's just out on a drive.
Todd, it's funny because I think Todd was testier yesterday than I've ever heard him to. He was fucking pissed several times. He was really mad.
Just you only take so much of it. That's even the most commonest of people.
Yeah, I mean, tire splits and shit like that. Again, the racing would be better. People would have better race etiquette. And it just is not the case. So, wrong place, wrong time, and getting taken out. Shit. The first race, everything was my fault. But in the second race, it was just I couldn't catch a break. Shit like that.
Well, no, you did catch a break. Somebody else didn't, and then smashed into you and 6 other people. I mean, we watched that replay, and then dude didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He smashed. He took what, 4 people with him?
4,
Four people with him. He didn't say sorry to anybody. He just fucking drove up.
Left at the end of the race. Hey, sorry, whoever I fucked up or took out and shit. No, nothing. And again, that just kind of speaks volumes of their character and shit like that.
Yeah, it was not funny. But at the same time, it was funny because Todd was just fucking raging yesterday. He sounded like me. Yeah. Oh, Mike. If any whoever is friends with Mike, dude, whoever is friends with Mike needs to go to the his replays and watch his race.
Yes. That was crazy. That chain of events. I watched it 6 times, trying to what the fuck happened? It was just bang, 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 bang.
Number one, it started with Almeida not having any situational awareness and just running into people, then losing control, and then people getting smashed, and Mike is pulling a Moses moment. He put his rod into the water, the cars were clearing, and then some dude smashed into the back of another dude, which smashed Mike into 2 other people and completely destroyed his car. There were what, 6 or 7 cars involved in that? Easily 6 or 7 cars.
It was 5th or 6th. All the way back to the back.
Oh my God!
It was 10 cars basically.
Yeah.
The from 6 down were all involved in the crash.
Yeah.
What
It started with Almeida losing it a little bit out of the corner at the bottom of the hill hairpin on Trial Mountain, the big sweeper to the left, back up the hill. And a car got beside him, and he moved over, not knowing that it was yet another car there because he had made such a bad corner. Now there was 3 wide, and they were smashing,
Jesus,
going up the hill into the S's. And he did it a second time, banged over to the left for no reason, hitting the second car, squirreling himself out, spun out right at the top of the hill with 10 cars right there. And it was just boom, 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 boom. And if you watch it, like Jim said, I was like I was just like perfect. Everything was like, okay, I'm gonna make it. Oh my god! And then it was just like, blah, 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 what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? Like it was like, and you watch the replay back and the different angles. It was just absolute chaos. Like so many cars were just destroyed.
It is classic. It is classic Gran Turismo physics.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
Ping pong physics too.
Yeah, that's pinball physics, but it was like one of those real life like say you see it in the supercars, or it happened a couple times in like the GT series and that, where they're on like a tight city road circuit, and one guy hits the corner and then everybody piles into the back and it just stops everybody. It's like a red flag moment. That's basically what had happened. Like, but because it's Gran Turismo, you can keep going, right? And you just go into the pits. Like, if it was real life, that track would have been red flag. And there would have been 10 broken cars on the track. So it was just like, I was laughing. It's like, where am I supposed to go? It was like,
it was a very crazy chain of events.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had a great race other than that moment.
Mike made the perfect decision where he went. He slowed perfectly. Everything was going his way, and then it wasn't.
And it was like a millisecond of just like it was like I needed just like that split second, and I was like free from. I started in like 11th or 12th going into that incident, and I would have came out in like 5th place.
Oh damn!
With a huge gap behind. Right.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I'm gonna. Oh, fuck it! It was like I thought I made it, and it was just like at that last moment of hope, it was just like, nope, you're involved as well.
Shit.
Yeah. First race I did was with Sean.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And it was a good one for you. It was not a good one for me. It was well. Sean wrecked what? First or second lap?
The second race I did.
The race we did together, it was first or second lap. Sean fucks up.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, had to pit early. Actually, I think it was lap 4. Lap 4
it was.
You came in.
Yeah.
Lap 4 you came in. I was fucking flying. I was on it. I was up to 6th place. I was doing great. First 2/3 of the race, I was fast as fuck. Came in, did my second pit stop, put tires on, and then completely lost my rhythm and could not. I had 0 speed. Sean ended up beating me.
Yeah, by one.
He wrecked and ended up beating me. And I mean, that's not him. That was just me not racing well. Second race I did. Pretty stacked lobby. Get in there. And then had a South American who decided that brakes weren't a thing. Hit me lap 2. I was able to eke out good lap times until lap 6. Did my pit, got everything fixed, went out, was flying again. Do my second pit stop, come out. He's behind me again. We go through the first S's into the first tunnel, and he hits me in the first tunnel. Again, in the rear end. And we take off, and I take off, and I slow down, and I'm like, fuck you. I am going to wreck you. And he proceeds to wreck himself, which is even better. So I ended up 12th in that race. But, dude, it's like, had to race the rest of the race with a broken rear end again. Yeah. But was still doing 52s and 53s with a broken rear end.
Jesus.
I did 254s.
That's good.
I did 254s. The rest of them were 53s, and I think I got down to like a 52.2 was my fastest. But like this is what I said to the boys after the race. I was like, why is there no stewarding? Why can't you report people, especially if you're doing a manufacturer's? This is a sponsored race, special races by Gran Turismo. Why are you not allowed to point out incidents that happened.
Because there'll be too many reports. They can't handle it.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're probably right. Yeah, it would
Because they don't allow it. That's the thing is because they don't allow it. You know, if they had allowed this kind of thing, reporting like they used to in sport, you'd be able to report a guy. You know, and you can't do that now. So now it's out of hand.
So the way you deal with bad drivers is just pretend that it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
the game is perfect. The game is perfect. There isn't anything wrong with it. The drivers are perfect. They have the greatest sports etiquette in the world.
Yeah,
that's how they look at it.
It's you know, I hate to say this, but in some ways I would like to see them go with more of a iRacing where it's much more real when it comes to incidents. Like in your case, it would suck for you, Mike, or Todd, in the case of what happened to him, or even me. It's like your car should be completely disabled.
Yeah.
Because that would fix a lot of bump and runners. It would fix a lot of those guys that just dive into a corner for no reason. Yeah, it's going to suck for all the rest of us who get taken out, but they're going to get taken out too.
It would slowly change things because
it would change things.
It would.
You know, if you smash into somebody and you take out your front right suspension or your front left suspension or your rear suspension and you can no longer race the race, that would solve problems.
It would.
Because every race you go in, you can't even race it, so you stop doing it.
Yeah. You
stop playing the game.
You're either going to have to stop playing the game, or you're going to have to race clean, or you do the when you run into people, you don't just lose a little bit of SR, you lose a shit ton of SR, and you lose a shit ton of DR.
I still say it should go like it should be more like you have the game and you have to unlock to get online. I understand that's perfect, but now once it's unlocked, you need to make sure that you have to build. You should be building your safety rating and shit like that before you get online, right? Knowing, I mean, they make it like ACC in the fact that you do all this and get your stats before you can go online. You have to have certain level on things before you can race people. And then it is difficult if you make mistakes to get your SR. And you have like, oh, listen, look, you barely made it online. You made a mistake or two. Now you're back offline.
Yeah.
Because you have to build your safety rating. You need to learn. And the damage structure in that is the same as well. It's like iRacing, whereas your car, you can't drive. You're done. You're in the pits. Game over.
Yeah.
It would clean it up. Because they're not all clean games, but they're a hell of a lot cleaner than GT. Like, they're still idiots in ACC. They're still idiots on iRacing, but it's few and far between comparable. Especially
there's larger penalties.
Once you get up a little bit more, too, in the rating, your ranking as well on those, it's even better because it's really hard to maintain that if you're an idiot. You can't just get a DR reset and then be back within 2 days. No, you get your shit fucked up, it's going to take you a good week or two to get back to even close to where you were before.
Or this is something that I was talking about yesterday. Also, so my third account is a B account, and I'm sort of keeping it that way because I'm trying to train myself to avoid the shit drivers, right? Except for the fact that both races I was in only had really one bad driver in each lobby. Everybody else was doing their damnedest to be clean. I got hit by a dude and he took me out, spun me out, right? He immediately stopped and pulled over. And let me go in front of him. I mean, he ruined my race, but at the same time, he had the race etiquette to say, "Oh, I made a giant mistake. I shouldn't continue driving."
Yeah.
Like,
it's funny you say that because I find that even because some of mine or other accounts are a little lower too, and I find that there's just in the lower B lobbies and such like that and lower, it's not necessarily dirty drivers. It's bad drivers.
Right. Yeah. That's
You know what I
most of
mean?
the most of it is poor
Yeah,
driving.
bad decision
It's just
making.
they're just not good. You know what I mean? Like realistically, they're just not that good, and they don't pick up and learn too much, and they still overbrake, and
Or
whereas once you get into like the A and A plus, that's where you get the dirty drivers because they've gotten there, they know how to do things to manipulate the
System.
game a bit, the system,
Yeah.
the penalties and stuff like that, and be dirty, and still get wins because you have to be good to get that high and the levels. You have to be a good driver, but you could also be very dirty at the same time. Whereas if you were these guys in B, they're always in B. They're always going to be in B. You know what I mean? It's because they're just bad drivers.
Well,
Dirty
yeah.
drivers are generally really good drivers. Unfortunately,
Well,
which
a lot of
makes
the
no
a lot
sense
of the
to me because
really
if you're that good, why do you have to be so fucking dirty?
well,
Obviously
that's
you have the skill.
look at Kimi over in the Europe. Look at what was his name, the French guy over
Momos.
in Europe, Momos.
Oh yeah.
Look at Luis D'Inizio. Look at the guy that we will not name. Look at these. There are so many really fast drivers that are also the dirtiest drivers on track.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's really it's a weird thing. They're super fast, but
Do you think
they will run you off the track because well, there's one of the K drivers that blames everybody for his mistakes too.
Yep.
And two, they just see it as a video game and not as much as racing, and I just need to win. It's a video game. I'm just in here to win.
Here's the thing: is like these guys they do have talent, but the problem is they don't have focus. What it comes down to is they get distracted too much by other people and what's going to happen, and say making sure that they knock them out of the way, that they just don't focus on the race itself, and that's costs them time, which gets people on their ass, or they have to dive bomb. They have to, like, if they just actually focus forward like the aliens kind of do and drive the race, they would be way better off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They wouldn't have probably half the issues that they cause because they wouldn't have that guy have to dive on, because they would have passed the guy already with their speed. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they
just drive.
I think the problem in the long run, though, with all of the dirty drivers, is they like doing it because it gets them attention. The person that we never name. The reason he drives that way is so that he can get attention, so that people bitch at him, and it makes him feel good because his crackhead parents never gave him anything.
Yeah, people negative attention, good attention.
Negative attention is still attention.
Yep.
It's still attention.
Yeah, but you know what? But it goes back to what I just said though. Like that attention, if they really wanted it, if they just focused on the race and racing,
Oh yeah.
they would be getting attention because they'd be fucking
Because they're
up there
so
all the time.
amazing.
Oh man, this guy, every race I'm in, he's always podium, man. This is gonna be a good one, like this is gonna be a battle, fuck, you know what I mean? Where fuck's sakes, like Tim again. All right, well, let's fucking get wrecked again, like it's not like, it's like, I know what you're saying, Jim, like but it's like they could have so much more attention if they just actually raced.
Yeah, but that's not the attention they want.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the problem with them. The attention they want is
misery loves company.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Their
like crack
shitty
form.
lives. Their shitty lives equals making everybody else as miserable as they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the honest truth. They drive that way because it gets them. Their little dicks get petted a little bit, and people talk about them and are pissed off, and they get a little bit of notoriety.
Yeah.
That's so much of what it is, and it's bad for the game. It's bad. It's bad that that it's allowed by PD. You know, those guys get away with bullshit, and we as you know, I mean, we make our mistakes, but we also, you know, stand up and go, hey, sorry about that. Hey, that was my mistake. You know, we all say that. They don't have a clue on how to do that because they don't want to. They get their attention and they're happy, and that's all that matters to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all that matters is somebody acknowledge that they're pieces of shit and they don't care. You know, that's so much of it. You know, the dude that spun around and stopped, I watched the replay of the race and I sent him a message and I was like, you'd be a lot faster if you slow down a lot sooner. Because he's one of those B racers that comes into every corner and breaks way too late.
Right.
I'm like, break a little bit sooner. If you broke a little bit sooner, you would be able to carry more speed through the corner.
Slow in, fast out.
Yeah, I'm like, you'd be a faster racer. Mm-hmm. And then you wouldn't run into people and have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And his response was, I'll try that.
Oh,
I'll try that.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
I'll try that. You know, because
criticism and
yeah, and I wasn't an asshole.
Yeah.
I said thank you for stopping, but you ruined both of our races, and you just need to brake sooner. If you did that, you'd get through the corner faster, and you'd be a faster racer. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So that's someone that will probably move up into A then. That's a type of person that will move up from B to A.
You know, at some point because they're willing to listen.
Yep.
And who knows? He might have been just fucking saying it to say it because he didn't like to get, you know, criticized, but he wasn't an asshole about it. So,
right.
You know, I'm totally happy with somebody that's like, oh man, you're right. Because
not so defensive and.
Yeah, I did ruin both of our races. That's the truth. I did. So, yeah. What are our races for this next week?
Ooh, let's go. Oh, yeah. What are they? Coach Mike.
Ooh.
Well, Daily Race A is going to be taking us to the Tokyo Expressway, center clockwise, a little short. Not really say a oval, but it's the kind of rounder, short one kind of thing. And it's going to be on the Comfort Softs. And I have a sneaking feeling it's going to be buses around the Tokyo Expressway.
The new stupid van that everybody asks for.
Yeah, exactly. So that might be fun. It could be any other road car, but I have a feeling it's going to be the stupid new van bus.
Yeah.
So, yay.
Great.
On to Daily B. Daily B is taking us to Sardinia Road Track A. We're going to be on the race mediums and the normal 1-in-1 fuel and tire. My feeling is going to be Group 3 there, because it generally is. Probably about 4 to 5 laps, depending on how they feel like giving us a race or not. Could be a good one. And race mediums is usually a fairly decent combo on the Group 3s as well. So, but then it brings us to Daily C. Daily C is going to be at Spa, a favorite of most people. We're all again going to be on the race mediums, 1 times fuel, 2 times tires with 1 mandatory pit stop, and this should be the Group 4 cars. We're probably looking at 8 or 9 laps. Tires probably.
Have we done Group 4 at Spa?
Yep. A little while back.
Okay.
A couple, I'd say about 3 or 4 months ago, probably. I believe it was a Daily B, though. So.
Okay.
It was a 4 or 5 lap Daily B.
Well, I hope it's Group 3, but
I'm pretty sure.
Well, you think with them messing with us last week, you think could be something different?
Could, but
Hopefully
I think
it could be
it'll
Group
somewhat
3
back to.
open.
I think it's going to go back to normal kind of thing, and
Okay.
then being that the Group 3 this week was doubled A and C. I'm pretty sure it's going to be B for Group 3 and Group 4 for Daily C, and then they'll maybe throw a kink into it next week after kind of thing.
Okay. Because boy,
Because
did
it
they
was
get us this
already,
last week. I thought for sure we're gonna
They
get.
did.
So
well, that's the thing is like that last week, that was one of the what the hell, because it was Group 3, Group 4, Group 3. That's an off weird
Yeah.
one, right? Instead of road car Group 3, Group 4 kind of thing. So I think it'll be back to normal, road car Group 3 and then Group 4 for C. Could be wrong, but I think that's what it'll be. They're, in my opinion, a little predictive that way every week, flip back and forth. So,
well, it would have been cool if they would have done Road America, or not Road America, but Road Atlanta last, last week when Road Atlanta was happening.
yeah.
As opposed to doing what they did with, like, it's so stupid. Like,
Yeah, that would have been dope.
I would like to see them doing more races that equate to actual races happening.
Yeah.
That would make me much happier if they would do something like that.
But that would mean they would have to give us more tracks, and Kaz does not want to be that, unfortunately.
Well, use the tracks that we do have, though. Like when it comes
Sure,
up,
I know.
It's yeah, I know, devil's advocate. That would sounded like me. Let's use tracks that are going to be used during a race, especially big races. If we have it, let's do it.
Yeah, no shit.
Just doesn't make any sense.
Because they'll do that a few times with like Super GT, right? We get a few of those that.
Yeah, we'll get a few of those ones.
Or something.
Yeah. But they overlook. Apparently, no racing happens anywhere else in the world except for Japan. And actually, the manufacturers this week will be
Road Atlanta.
Road Atlanta, which should have been this last week.
How many laps is that, right?
That is 28 laps.
Oh,
mediums and softs, both required.
Ooh.
But the tire wear isn't bad. 3 times tire, 1 times fuel.
Right on. But 28 laps, people are going to have to hold it together for 28 laps, which a lot of people have troubles with.
Well, yes. And this is a track that is not an easy track to drive. It looks fairly straightforward, but it is not an easy track to drive.
No, especially pit entry. Oh, that's
pit
tough.
entry is, watching Road Atlanta, watching Petit Le Mans. Petit Le Mans, there were how many cars that hit pit entry and then missed the rest. They got on the entry road and right off into that barrier.
Yep.
So, or even hitting that line. I was like, that's a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, that would be,
Well, the other thing with that course as well, especially in GT7, is it's only one fuel, but by the end of the race, you do burn a little bit off. And it has a lot of, compared to some courses, a lot of change in the dynamics of the car from fuel weight to lower fuel weight. Mm-hmm. I find, especially because of the undulations everywhere, that the cars tend to get a lot looser as the race goes with the tire wear and the lighter fuel load. So people have a lot harder time driving near the end of a session, like a stint on tires and stuff and fuel. So that race gets really tricky near the end.
Yeah, and
they always do.
I'm doing the mullet suggestion, how he trains.
Yeah,
which is set up an offline race, exact everything, crank your AI up to super idiot, and
start from the back.
Practice there. Start from the back and roll through the pack. Learn how to pass, learn where to pass. And also it helps you with your tire or if there's fuel strategy. That's, that's your biggest thing. You get out there and you actually are racing, so you get actual real data on tire wear and fuel usage. So
that's where you can actually just drive and not have to worry about competition, and you can just actually focus on strategy.
Yep.
And learning just basic, like, the AI sucks in general, but it gives you traffic.
And
the air, the traffic, the whole, working around drivers.
One of the things too is the AI drivers are on their own strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be racing, even though you're only going to be mediums and softs, they're going to be racing on hards. They're going to be switching to whatever, whenever, and it makes things a little bit more interesting too. But it gives you some real practice time. So I would suggest you do that this week. It'll help you.
Yep.
Didn't help me much because I couldn't qualify worth shit. But it will help you out. And yeah, I am back racing, but only exhibition, and I'm only racing in my third account too.
He's a racing. Yep. That's all that matters.
And it's not like I don't get any practice in. I get in and do my weekly races, which are up now. And if it's a good time trial, I'm doing good time. I'm doing time trials too.
I know. I'm gonna start doing more of those time trials.
Easy money.
Yep.
Easy money. It doesn't matter. It's anywhere between 500,000 coins and 2 million coins. Easy money. Same thing with weekly races. You get in there, easy money. If you're a person that's always
those are some decent races most of the time. Those are pretty decent.
Yeah, no, they're a lot of fun, and I do all sorts of different car competitions.
Yep.
There are times where I am using a road car in a race car setting.
Yeah.
Just because it makes it interesting and fun, and it teaches you how to drive a road car.
That's the thing. It's like those weeklies, you can make a couple million by the time you get through.
Oh, yeah.
And if you wanted to, just to make the money, you could go in there and use the complete overpowered car compared to everything else in the race, because it does allow you. There's kind of some glitches in the game in that aspect, that you can go with a GT3 or GT4 car in a road car race. Yeah. And just rip through it real quick and win, like lap them in 3 laps race kind of thing, like if you want to get the money quick.
Yeah.
Or you can have some fun and use weird alternate cars and see how good you could do.
I use
to challenge yourself. Like most of those times I do those races and I'll restart them over and over again until I can drive perfect with whatever random car I choose, without touching the AI, without making track, to do a good drive.
Alpine.
You can challenge yourself.
The
exactly.
Alpine death trap that we created for shits and giggles, I use that quite often because it is so hard to drive.
Yeah.
I used
a lot of those cars. I used a lot of cars that we did.
The shits and giggles. Yep, shits and giggles cars have been a ton of fun. Yeah. I think that's about all we have this week. Yeah. Formula One next week.
Yep, back in old America.
America.
Tejas. We're going to Tejas next.
Oh, and available the 19th of October, the new Thrustmaster T598 direct drive for the PS4 and PS5 bundle is out. $499.99, base, wheel, and pedals. And looks like they're doing a new direct drive technology that's going to help nearly eliminate cogging, which a lot of the other ones they're using. Let's see what they're calling it. It says direct axle drive technology.
Very interesting.
Well, maybe we'll study up on that and talk about it next week.
Yeah, I don't like the way it looks, though, looking at it. The base.
It looks like shit.
Yeah. And the pedals, they look okay, but the springs look kind of weak. But for $499.
Can't tell.
Yeah,
for $499, it's a great entry.
Yeah.
I think
It
it's
is.
to
That
compete
is.
with the
5
new,
newton
like the
meter.
Logitech True Force and
Yeah.
things like that medium entry level kind of stuff that's affordable but not falling to the basic kind of like some of the thrust with it. The T50 with it, all it has is bungee cords inside.
Yeah.
Just to kind of bring it back a little bit.
Yeah.
There's actual feedback. It's just bungee cords pulling it centered, and they snap easy. So like, other than that, you got to spend $300 to $400 minimum to get a wheel and pedals usually, and that's going to fit right in that category.
Yeah.
A little bit better than some of the cheap ones, but not that great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not to take anything from it, because I drove up until recently a Logitech G29 for 4 years, and it was great, but it was still entry level.
Yep.
Kind of thing. So.
Yep. It'll be perfect for the
Now
guy
that
that just wants to
bombshell.
get on and just race a little bit every once in a while.
Todd wants
We's
to
out.
go.
Yep, we're gone. We're out of here, everybody.
Wow.
See
We
you
will
next
see you
week.
next
See you
week.
next
Peace.